friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, we are going to be sitting down and writing up the budget for my husband's 4th paycheck in April. So we are looking at the paycheck he receives on April 27th. So we are going to be writing in all of the bills, the last few bills here that we're going to be tackling in April, as well as all of our other expenses for the week, and get a feel for what our budget is going to look like. So let's just get into it. I have the paycheck bill tracker here from the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. That's what we're going to be working in today. I have an erasable pen from Parkoo that we're going to be writing everything in. If you're not familiar with the way that I do my budgeting system, I have the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck workbook, and I just print out my pages and punch them using an arc punch. And I have everything bound together here in a big Happy Planner system. So this is an 8.5 by 11 size. I print all of my printables on a full letter size page and just punch them and keep everything bound together here. In addition to the Budget by Paycheck workbook pages, I also have some pages from an Erin Condren monthly planner that I uncoiled and put in here. I use lots of other printable planning pages and different aspects of different systems, all put together in one Franken planner, and it works out really great for me having everything all in one place. Okay, so that is that. Quick little note about me. I am 36 years old, living in Southeast Michigan with my husband and our 2 teenage boys. We are on a mission to pay off all of our credit card debt in 2021. Hopefully by the end of the year, all of our credit cards will be paid off. I'm so looking forward to the day when we can say that all of our credit cards are gone. In order to make progress towards that goal, we use the debt snowball. So we pay the minimum payments on all of our credit cards, and then we get laser focused on one card at a time, and we tackle it by putting as much money as we can towards that card to get it paid off as quickly as possible. We write out a budget every week in order to free up as much money as we can to have to pay extra towards that debt. So we're going to get started here. I'm going to zoom you guys in a touch. The paycheck date, as I mentioned, is April 27th. We budget paycheck to paycheck, so Tuesday to Tuesday. So this paycheck is going to cover all of our expenses between the 27th and the 3rd of May. So this income came in April, and we're going to use it to pay all of the bills that happen within this last week of April and those first couple of days of May. So we're going to pay the lot rent, the water, the cable bill. Those are all due on May 1st, but they are going to get paid with this income because we don't get paid again before they're due. So even though it's technically a May bill, we are paying it in April. And we're also going to pay Audible, which is due on May 2nd. So those are the bills we are going to pay. We're going to put that in under this bill section, but also under this bill section, I put anything that is going to be paid using my checking account. We do a lot of our budgeting in cash, but there are some things you just can't use cash for, or you don't want to use cash for, and I lump all of those things in under this bills category. So anything that's going to get paid with my debit card or just straight from my checking account goes in here under bills. That includes our grocery bill because we use the Walmart pickup service for our groceries. I go online every week and just add everything I need for my family of 4 for the week to the app, check out right from there, pay using my debit card or a credit card, and then I'm able to just drive up and the employee will put the groceries that I ordered right into the trunk of my car. I don't have to go in and do any shopping. It's the greatest service ever. I do have a link in my description box where you can take $10 off your first Walmart grocery order of $50 or more. If you've never tried the service out, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to stick to your grocery budget, and it's super, super easy. Why shop if you don't have to? And there's no extra charge, by the way, for that service. You don't pay a service fee, and also none of the items cost more than they would if you were to just go in store and buy them yourself. It's a phenomenal service. I highly recommend it. So for my groceries, for my family of 4, I budget $150 a week. That's enough to, feed my hungry teenagers and my husband and myself. And so that is the first line item here. And next we're going to go ahead and write in those bills we talked about. So we have our lot rent. My husband and I own our mobile home free and clear. We paid off the mortgage on our mobile home last spring. It was such a huge victory for us. But while we own the home, we don't own the land it sits on. We are in a mobile home community, also known as a trailer park. And so we do have to pay for our little lot. It's not an ideal situation. Someday I hope to own my own land or my own home. But for now, that's the situation we're in. So we pay $527 a month for our lot rent. Next up, we have our water bill, which we pay monthly. That's due on the 1st of May. And for that, we're going to budget $50. We also have our cable bill due on the 1st. And we have a package with our mobile home community that gets us high-speed internet as well as cable for around $65 a month, which is a great deal. Prior to this, we were paying $70 for just high-speed internet. So they were able to get us this deal through the mobile home community, and it's phenomenal. So we took advantage of that. And I believe the very last bill that we have to worry about this week is Audible. This is my husband's audiobook subscription, which he absolutely loves. And for this, we are going to budget $16. So that is it for everything under the bills category. This is everything that I'm going to pay with my checking account. And so I need to pull in my calculator here so we can add it up. So we're going to pay $150 plus $527 plus $50 plus $65 plus $116 for a total of $908 here under the bills category. And that takes care of that. Next, we're going to move on to our cash envelopes. So as I mentioned, we do a lot of our budgeting in cash. Under this cash envelopes section here, I write in all of the things that we are going to use cash for. And these are all of our variable expenses, essentially. These are all of the things that we will need cash for throughout the week. So the first category I write in here is my husband's spending money. I give both my husband and myself $40 a week, and that is to spend on absolutely anything that we want. The way that we tackle our debt, we are paying a lot of extra money towards debt every single week, but we are not taking ourselves down to like bare bones. We still eat out, we still have spending money, we still like to live our lives so that we don't feel deprived, and one of the ways that we do that is with our spending money. So my husband gets $40 every single week to spend however his little heart desires. And likewise, I get $40 as well. So we will budget that. Next up here, I have my sons. So my oldest son, Robert, I give $20 a week to help compensate him for the gas that he uses driving my youngest son to school every day. And then my youngest son, Austin, who is 13, Robert is 18, by the way. Austin gets $20 a week for his allowance. So each of my boys gets $20 cash every single week. let's see what else here. Usually I have lawn care, but I already have the money from last week that we didn't use for lawn care, so I don't need to pull any more cash. For this week, we're already covered. I have gas, which I like to have in cash, and we budget $40 a week for our gas money. That is to fill my Subaru Forester. Next up, I have eating out, and for eating out this week, I'm going to budget $40. Some weeks I do more, some weeks I do less. That's what we're sticking with this week. And lastly, for these cash envelopes, I have miscellaneous, and this is just extra money that I budget to have on hand for anything that comes up throughout the week. Whether we spend a little bit more in one of these other cash categories, or we have something comes up. Seems like every week without fail, we use this miscellaneous money for something, and so I like to have a budget for it so that we have it should we need it. For that, we're going to budget $20 as well. So we're going to go ahead and add these totals up. 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 20 plus 40 plus 40 plus 20, and that's $220 for the week for cash envelopes. Next up, we have sinking funds. If you're not familiar with sinking funds, they are essentially little mini savings accounts for things that we know that are coming up throughout the year, and we want to be prepared for them. So this is things like Christmas that comes every year. We set aside a little bit of money here and there throughout the year, and it slowly builds up so that when it comes time to do our Christmas shopping, we have a nice little chunk of money set aside and we don't have to swipe a credit card. We do the same thing for other holidays, for other big purchases we know we have to make, and that's typically what we put here under our sinking funds. However, this week, we're not adding anything to sinking funds. If you're not familiar with our situation, my husband is paid based on commission, so his paychecks fluctuate week to week. One week he might have a really big paycheck, the next week he might have a really small paycheck. This week just so happens to be on the lower end of that spectrum, and so we aren't going to add anything to sinking funds so that we're able to hit some of our other goals. That's fine. We don't have to add money to sinking funds every single week. Some weeks we will put in a ton of money, other weeks we'll skip them entirely. It just depends on what our goals are, how much money we have, that sort of thing. So we're not adding anything to sinking funds this week, so I'm just going to skip right over that section and move on to our extra debt category. So as I mentioned, we use the debt snowball method to pay our debt, and over the course of the last year and a half or so, we have made big strides towards paying down our debt. We started out with, I think, 16 credit cards, and we are down to just 3. So now every time we paid off a credit card, we took the minimum payment that we were paying to that card, and we lumped it into our debt snowball payment. And that then got paid towards the next lowest card on our list, and the next lowest card, and that amount built up slowly over time, and now we are paying $233 to our debt snowball every single week. So this is the accumulation of all of those minimum payments added together, divided by 4 so that we can make a weekly payment. And that is how we do it. We like to make progress on our debt every single week, so we pay at least $233 every single week to the credit card we are currently working on, which is a Lowe's card. We pay the minimum payments to all of our other cards, and then this $233 a week to that Lowe's card. In addition to that, we also like to play some fun savings challenges to come up with some extra money to send to our debt, and that's what we are going to do now. Typically, I do this in a separate video, but I have too many videos that need to go out this week. I'm just going to include it in this one. hopefully you guys don't mind. So what I'm gonna do here then is flip to this notes section of my planner, and we are going to play some fun games and figure out how much extra we are paying in debt this week. So the first game that we are going to play is called Debt Roulette. This is a fun little challenge printable that I came up with myself. I put this together on Canva. If you would like to have a copy of this printable that you can print and use in your own budgeting system, I do have this available as a free download over in my Facebook group, which is the Jwhackers Fans and Friends Facebook group. I have it linked down below. If you want to go and join that group, you can get this printable for free. And the way that I do this is I just downloaded a little app on my phone, which I need to pull up here. It is the Roulette Wheel of Luck, if you guys can see it there. So I just open this up, and I have a little debt roulette wheel that I have created here using, you know, the little key they have here, and I punched in numbers from 10 to 50 in increments of 5, so 10, 15, 20, and so on. So then I will just spin the wheel, and whatever number it lands on, that's how much we will pay extra towards debt. So let's give this a spin. All right, so we are going to pay $40 this week. The paycheck date is April 27th. 2021, and we're going to pay $40 for debt roulette this week, which is exciting. An extra $40 going towards Lowe's. So that is one little challenge that I do every single week. And essentially what these are is they are fun savings challenges that I was doing, and I was putting all of that money into savings, but I decided that I wanted to focus more on paying off debt and less on savings, so I just turned all of these savings challenges into debt payoff challenges instead. It's still a fun way to come up with an amount every single week. It's a little less tedious than just the same, like throwing an extra $50 at it every week. This allows it to be a little bit more creative and a little bit more fun. So next I have the playing card challenge, and this is another challenge that I came up with myself. This is another free printable that is available, and the way that this works is I just will shuffle a deck of cards and pull 2 cards from the deck, and those 2 cards correlate with how much I will pay towards debt. So let me grab my deck of cards quickly. So I have my deck of cards here. It's just a regular deck of cards that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to pull out the jokers because I don't use those. And I'm going to shuffle these. And we're just going to pick 2 cards at random. One, 2, so we got an 8 and a queen. So queen is worth 20 and 8 is worth 8. So we're going to save $28 to put towards debt this week. And this is week 4. This says savings, but again, we're not saving it, we're putting it towards debt. $28. So far we had, I apologize you guys for the noise in the background from the lawnmower. I just have to get this done. I don't have time to wait for that to finish. So we did 28 for the playing card challenge, and of course we had 40 from debt roulette, so we're up to 68 so far. And next up we are moving on to Savopoly. So Savopoly is a printable that I found from mothermeandI.com. I paid just a couple of dollars for this printable, and the premise here is that it's like Monopoly. So you roll a dice, you go around the board, and the property you land on correlates with how much you're going to save, or in my case, put towards debt. So I have a little dice roller app on my phone. You could, of course, use real dice, but I always lose my dice, so I just got a little dice roller app. I use 2 dice. I roll. Last time I landed on, let's see if I can find my place here, $8 right down here. And we are going to roll the dice, 6. So we're going to move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we landed on $30 here, so I'm just going to mark that for 27. We landed on $30, so I'm going to write that in up here. So we will add that to our total, 28 plus 40 plus 30, so we're looking at $98 so far. And the very last one that we have here is the 52-week savings challenge. This printable came from hasslefreesavings.com, and it's super easy. You just pick a square each week, color it in, and that's how much you save. So because we're already at 98, I'm just going to choose this little $2 one and make it an even $100 extra we are paying towards our debt this week, which is so much fun. So yeah, 28 plus 40 plus 30 plus 2 is $100. By the way, the premise of this is if you choose a different box each week and you save that amount, after 52 weeks, you will have saved $1,000. Or, like I said, paid that towards debt if you're doing it my way. Alright, so I have flipped back to my Paycheck bill tracker, and for challenges, we are going to send an extra $100 this week for a total of $333 in extra debt payments, which is super, super exciting. So the very last section that we have here then is our extra savings. We don't put anything into extra savings. As you saw, I changed my savings challenges into debt payoff challenges. So we don't have anything to write in here with the exception of our rollover amount, because my husband is paid based on commission and his paychecks fluctuate. One of the ways that we help kind of combat that situation is by rolling money over from week to week. So we always like to save back a little bit of each paycheck to roll over to the next week. And that just helps make sure that we always have enough money to cover our bills. If my husband happens to have a lower paycheck like he did this week, I don't write in the rollover amount because I don't disclose my husband's income. He's not comfortable with that. And we do a zero-based budget. So if I were to write in how much we rolled over, that would leave us at a zero amount, and you would just really easily be able to add up all of these totals and figure out how much my husband makes each week. And that would kind of defeat the purpose of not disclosing that. So I'm just going to leave this blank, but just know that we do have some money left from this paycheck that we will roll over to help make sure that we are covered for next week's bills. All right, friends, that is it for my budget for the third week in April. Pretty easy peasy. Be on the lookout for my cash envelope stuffing video coming later this week. It's going to be pretty short and sweet since we don't have a whole heck of a lot of cash to work with, but be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!